Long before Harvard or Oxford opened their doors, scholars were walking thousands of miles across mountains and deserts. They traveled from China, Tibet, Korea, and Persia, all heading to a single destination in ancient India. They were coming to Nalanda. Built more than 1,500 years ago, this was the world's first truly great residential university. But surviving the journey didn't guarantee admission. To get past the gates, arriving students had to face grueling oral entrance exams administered by the university's top scholars. The failure rate was massive, ensuring only the sharpest minds of the ancient world made it inside. Those who passed earned access to the university's absolute greatest treasure, a library complex known as the Dharmaganja, or the Treasury of Truth. It was ancient history's ultimate vault of knowledge. At its peak between the 5th and 12th centuries, the campus operated on a massive scale. 10,000 elite students lived here, guided by a dedicated faculty of 2,000 teachers. The daily lived experience inside the walls was immersive. Scholars moved between towering temples, endless meditation halls, and sprawling brick courtyards. The curriculum was highly advanced and strictly multidisciplinary. Students practiced early forms of surgery, calculated complex mathematics, mapped out astronomy, and debated intricate philosophy. Nalanda operated as an intellectual engine centuries ahead of its time. The beating heart of all this study was the Dharmaganja Library Complex. It was physically enormous. The library consisted of 3 separate gigantic buildings. According to historical accounts, one of these structures towered 9 stories into the sky. Inside those walls were millions of irreplaceable handwritten manuscripts, carefully carved into palm leaves and bound together with precision. These specific texts documented ancient scientific formulas, detailed astronomical data, and complex medical discoveries that existed nowhere else on Earth. Walking through these stacks meant walking through the collective, peak intellectual progress of human civilization up to that exact moment in history. Then came the year 1193. A military commander named Bakhtiyar Khilji invaded the Bihar region. His army descended on the university. They tore through the campus, killing the scholars and toppling the immense temples and meditation halls. But the absolute worst of the devastation was targeted at the core. The invaders took the Dharmaganja Library Complex and set it on fire. Because of the massive volume of paper and wood, millions of books burned for months. The skies above the region literally turned black as the thick smoke choked out the sun. This was a devastating amputation of knowledge for the entire human race. We will never entirely know what disappeared in those flames. Entire libraries of highly specific medical cures, unread philosophies, and advanced astronomical insights vanished forever into ash. Only a tiny fraction of this genius survived. A handful of flame monks managed to smuggle a few surviving texts out of the destruction, carrying them over the mountains into Tibet and China. Back in Bihar, the once great university fell totally silent. The ruined buildings collapsed inward, sleeping undisturbed beneath the earth for centuries. If it weren't for those few desperate survivors who made it over the mountains, entire branches of ancient thought would be completely untraceable today. The story remained buried until the 19th century, when archaeologists finally uncovered the site and pulled Nalanda out of myth and back into reality. Today, the Nalanda Mahavihara physical foundations still stand in modern Bihar. They serve as a quiet monument to a forgotten golden age of Indian scholarship. And the legacy continues. In modern times, a new Nalanda University has been built and is operating right near the ancient site. Empires eventually fall and cities burn to the ground, but Nalanda proves that the human pursuit of knowledge is an idea that survives the ashes.